A long time ago, in a cinema far, far away, Jeff Hicks witnessed the lane direction of Disney's Star Wars. Sorrow, anger, and the loyalty of a few friends. These were the ingredients for a perfect storm, and thus, Stealing Solo was born. Together, Jeff, Kendo, and Nick unite to right the wrongs of Disney and their evil. Though not as intended, Stealing Solo, a unique Fandom Menace Comicsgate Project by Jeff Hicks of the World Class Bullshitters, has arrived to backers. How was it? Find out next. Now I know, the comic shipped poorly, without a mailer, damaged, address on the back, and so on. If you're here for that kind of content, I'll save you the time. You're not going to find it. As far as I know, Jeff and the printer have come to an arrangement that seems to show full culpability on them, so I'll leave it at that unless proven otherwise. I'm here to give an honest review about the main story, Stealing Solo. Don't worry though, I'll warn you when I get to spoiler territory in case you're still waiting to get your copy or just want to decide for yourself. While clearly an extension of the channel's content, whether you're a diehard follower or an outsider who'd have written off the Bullshitters as a group of misogynist basement-dwelling man-babies, there's a humor and tongue-in-cheek awareness to appreciate. Even if you're a Disney fanboy or girl or fan genderqueer, we don't discriminate here, the way Jeff channeled his personal disappointment and applied it constructively through parody is commendable. This is a story for all the disappointed Star Wars dude bros, and I love it. The fact it's coming to backers so close to Rise of Skywalker I think only helps the reception for the reader. So what is Stealing Solo? It's a Captain's parody about a group of fans who kidnap a famous actor and force him to remake a movie in their basement. The pitch goes like this. You ever wonder what you would do if the thing you love most in the world betrayed you? Four men answer that question in a very funny, very illegal way in Stealing Solo, a Captain's parody. Stealing Solo is the best way to help laugh off the pain that is Disney Star Wars, all while retaining the true spirit of the franchise in a satirical way. If I had to make quick comparisons, I'd say it reminded me of Bill and Ted, Bluntman and Chronic from Jay and Silent Bob, and Spaceballs. It's a story about friends, just like those, full of heart and hilarious situations. Here we get a look into Jeff's mind through his work, a nice compliment to his candid nature on the weekly show. Despite the potential scope of the plot and the grand nature of the actor Harrison Ford, Jeff keeps the story well grounded and focused on the friends, Nick and Kendo, instead of jumping the shark. While pursuing a criminal endeavor, he writes them as lovable dummies. So set on making episode 7 up for their friend, they're blind to the grave reality of what's at stake. As for writing himself into the story, it definitely works. Instead of making himself so titular to the story, he's actually a character who introduces the tone of the story, a meta-reference of the channel's sentiment, and then gets pulled into the shenanigans without much choice. I have to really tip the hat to Jeff for, in my view, having a lot of restraint with the story and his own involvement as a character. And in Rian Johnson fashion, this story will subvert your expectations. I won't give anything away at the moment, but let's say it has a Pulp Fiction kind of dark comedic surprise, followed by a last-ditch hope in the most unexpected area. More on that later. One hindrance I could note potentially with this creation is that perhaps the humor won't be as well received by someone not a channel follower, even though he gives hints about Nick and Kendo that make how they tick understandable within one issue. It's very much written for the audience made aware of it. I could be wrong though, I like to get an outsider's perspective. Another criticism I have is the art. Largely, Jeff's style blends realism with stylization, stripping bare a lot of detail to bring about a comic book feel to a very cinematic progression. The Harrison shot of him in the film shoot uniform is a great example of a character ready to leap from the page, full of charisma and dimension. But certain shots look flat, like the characters were drawn like hieroglyphs. A few shots have people looking to the side while their faces are set in a direct face-to-face angle, but largely, this is a nitpick. Midway in the story, there's a sequence in the dark, and Jeff utilized black and white in my view quite well to maintain depth and angle while having a limited palette range in which to do so. Overall, I'm happy with what I've seen and hope Jeff does more stories in the future. Alright, now it's time for spoilers. Come back after you've read it if you don't want anything spoiled. The story starts with the premiere of episode 7. Everyone is elated by it, all but one. Jeff emerges from what he just witnessed, distraught. Jeff's fandom of Star Wars is now in shambles by the cheap ploy of a soft reboot. He can't eat, sleep, work, or even focus. The loss of Han Solo is too much to bear, so much so that his friends Kendo and Nick take notice. Caring for him as they do, as well as Kendo's non-existent sex life, they devise a plan to heal their friend. The next day, they arrive at an air hangar to find Solo himself, Harrison Ford repairing his plane. After revealing themselves, things quickly deteriorate and Nick attempts to thwart Ford from behind, only to fall from the mighty hand of Han Solo. Despite the struggle, they apprehend and bag Ford and take him away, the first step in their plan, now complete. Back home, Jeff comes to find his parking space taken and proceeds to investigate. Nick, being an amateur adult filmmaker, all the excitement leads Jeff to think Nick is working on yet another film, when he's shocked to find Ford tied up in his basement. Against his will, Jeff agrees to go along with the plan, convinced of blackmail from Nick and Kendo. They'll reshoot episode 7 with Harrison, Nick of course fixing it in post. Costuming prepped, green screen ready, all seems to be going accordingly except one thing: Ford's playing stubborn. Not to worry though, Kendo has the perfect plan. Starve him out until he cooperates. Once he does, they start costuming, which is atrocious. Nothing fits right, the colors are wrong, but never fear, Nick, yet again, can fix it in post. Then the next hiccup. Ford has no memory of the lines and no script to work with. Nevertheless, Jeff and Ford begin shooting, and in between takes this allows Ford and Jeff to bond. And through that reflective dialogue, we learn what great friends, if not nincompoops, Nick and Kendo are, what they mean to the bullshitter. From there, we see the lighter side of Ford, who convinces Jeff to free him should the moment arise. And while conflict with Nick and Kendo ensues, the moment does indeed come to fruition. And Jeff cuts the chain, letting Ford run to his freedom. Near escape, Ford suddenly falls, the chain still attached to his leg stomped by Nick. And lo and behold, the hilarious twist of the story, Ford gets crushed under the broken garage hinted at previously in the story. Disappointed, they recover in the kitchen, when all of a sudden Dion returns home, intent on getting a pizza. There he finds Ford and is then blackmailed by the trio to play ball. After some editing, they see the work Nick put in post-production, incomplete now that Ford is gone. But behold, an idea to complete the project comes to Jeff's mind. They venture back to Hollywood and knock on a mysterious door. The final panel has Jeff implore none other than Alden Ehrenreich to talk. The end. And thus, the lesson of the story: never meet your heroes, because you may kill them in an unfortunate hostage situation and need to recast them. Not a bad first project by Mr. Hicks. I'd give this a score of 7 out of 10, with interest in a third Ehrenreich sequel. The story is solid and progresses well page to page. I'm a little disappointed the majority of the plot stays in the basement and home, with a wish that there was a bit more location hopping and need for the characters to leave Solo unattended. With that, I think you could show Ford by himself attempting to flee and repeatedly be thwarted last second, having a chance to do all sorts of callbacks to other Ford productions like The Fugitive or Air Force One, and giving the reader a beefier story. Knowing anecdotal tales of collecting, it'd be cool as well to maybe see Jeff's mom or his preserved Thomas the Train collection from childhood, or Ford pondering Jeff's pop culture collection. Incorporation of the podcast would be a great addition, as well as a thread could be Ford sneaking to a computer to cry for help via super chat, but people thinking it's just proper Jeremy. A nice Fandom Menace Easter egg. Those are my thoughts. Let me know how you like Stealing Solo and ideas you'd have liked added. Until next time. Hey guys, Black Angus here. Just want to let you know to sign up for the Methgator pre-launch campaign. It's a Comicsgate project I'm working on. I want to do a bunch of things different than what is the status quo in Comicsgate. First 15 that sign up are going to get a 10% discount on the first campaign, which is Nothing Comics, going to be a poster campaign. I'm doing things differently. I'm trying to fund from the ground up. So backing the poster is kind of my way of circumventing it. Just, hey, go fund me to make a comic. You're getting something in return to help build a brand, build a Comicsgate project. Something that's always going to be indebted to the fans, just like old school Green Bay Packers, where they still have shares for the team to be had. You're not getting a share of Methgator, it's all mine, but you can be proud to have helped build something instead of, just some rich guy, maybe, that perception, coming into Comicsgate, making a book, and then running off like some people we know. That's all I got for you. Check it out, pinned in the top comment and in the description. Methgator. See you later.